You blinked once and the boy from the 016 stepped in the building. I go by the name of Billy Jones, baby, and I'm back again with another super episode of Orange Creds, baby. This week I'm gonna be giving you guys 5 tips to retain and gain listeners. So yeah, man, let's get straight into it. I don't want to make this video too long, so let's get straight into it. The first one, pick your niche and work towards perfecting it. Pick your niche and work towards perfecting it. What do I mean by that? I mean, pick a lane, man. The biggest mistake I've seen in a lot of artists, especially in the beginning of their careers, is they try to be doing too much. They try to hop on every wave they can see that's going on, which is, I feel like that's the biggest mistake one can make, because your initial listeners, bro, those people, they fell in love with you with a specific sound, right? And you haven't really built a strong enough fan base for you to be trying different things like that, or hopping onto every wave that is popular or in at that moment or specific time, right? So the most important thing is to pick a lane and stick to it. So pick your niche, focus on it, work towards perfecting it, and I promise you it will yield good results. If you really, really are into it and you really, really are intentional about what you're trying to do, I promise you, sticking to your lane and actually focusing on it will help you build a relationship with your listeners, and they will actually feel like they know you better, which is very, very dope. It's something that a lot of artists seem to get wrong. But yeah, pick your niche and work towards perfecting it. That's number 1. Number 2, do not try to be too versatile. And I know some people are going to be like, what do you mean? Don't be versatile. Versatility is what people are craving for. That's what they say, but I don't truly believe that's what they're actually craving for. Because, like I said, if you want to retain and gain a solid fan base, a solid consumer base, or a solid base of listeners, whatever you want to call them, whatever you call the people that support your work, if you want to make a solid relationship, build a solid relationship with those people, you have to give them some sort of comfortability and and stability. So when you are trying to be too versatile in that stage of your career, you are losing them, because now you're telling your first base listeners that you are not that invested in them, and you are trying to impress whoever else is out there. And that's the biggest mistake artists make, because once you do that, then you isolate your core fan base. A lot of things seem to go downhill from there on. So it's very important that artists always remember that when you are building and trying to retain a fan base, a core fan base, the most important thing to do is not try to be too versatile. Pick a side, like I said in the first point, stick to your lane, perfect it, and it will help you get closer to your listeners who are already there. And for the ones that are going to come in after that, they will be brought in by those core fan base, because your core fan base will fight for you on any given day, and they will argue on your behalf in certain debates and certain conversations, which will make other consumers / listeners or fans of other people, or just consumers of the product that you are supplying, it will make those people who are just out there, who don't really have that affinity with you as the artist, it will make them sit back and actually ask themselves, why do these people feel so strongly about this artist? So it gives them time when they are alone to go and check you out properly, to actually listen to you, give you a chance, because somebody that they trust or someone that's very close to them advocated for you. It makes it easy for them to be like, you know what, let me go actually hear them out and see what is the deal with this guy. And once they get it, if they are the right person for your type of product, once they get it, I promise you they will never leave, because now they understand why the other guys I loved you so much. So the relationship becomes strong and tight, and it will put you in a very, 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 very good place, which I think a lot of us misinterpret. We think being versatile is the most important thing. We think being versatile means you are adored more. I don't think that. I think it exposes you to a wider range, but you can't retain those people simply because your music is always changing. So once it's always changing, maybe I'll find one song that you like, because you are trying different things. Maybe I'll find that one song or that one project that you made that was a specific style, and then the next one is a totally different style, and now you lose me. That's where you lose me. And that's what I feel like most artists do wrong. They come in the game with a specific style that actually resonates with people. They catch on, and then they change it in their sophomore project or something like that, which is detrimental to trying to build a solid fan base, a core fan base. So when you're trying to retain and gain listeners, your job is to be very consistent and very deliberate. So be intentional with everything that you do. Don't try to be too versatile. That's the second point, right? Point number three. Point number three is don't try too hard. And by that is, I don't mean you shouldn't give it your all. I'm just saying, I don't mean you shouldn't give it your all, né? But what I'm trying to say to you is, you shouldn't sound like you are trying too hard. And I know it's not as easy as it sounds. What I'm trying to say is, you need to work on your craft so much that it sounds seamless, right? It seems like you're just gliding on a beat. Although you're doing something so complex and so rare, a skill that is so rare, you have to make it look like it's natural, make it look easy. And that's one thing that I feel like most artists miss out on, or especially in the beginning, they're not really as focused on that side of things as they should. Because I feel like, as an artist, if I'm starting off, I would focus so much on trying to perfect my skill so that I don't sound like I'm trying too hard. You don't want to sound like you're trying too hard. You want to sound like you are forcing yourself to like do certain things or to sound a certain way. So it must be seamless. It must be very, very natural, very seamless. It must be very much so a glide. You must glide on. It's like ice skating. That's how it should be. It should be like ice skating, just gliding on it like it's nobody's business. So that's point number 3. Working towards making sure that you don't sound like you're trying too hard, making sure that you are seamless with your art. So that's gonna take longer than the first one and the second one. But the most important thing about this one, once you get this one right, this is where I feel like things change. This is where like fans actually start having that affinity with you as an artist, where they're like, yo, this guy's the GOAT. That's where they start trying to put you in those conversations, because they're starting to see you sound so seamless. It seems so easy for you to do this thing. Like, it looks like nobody could touch you. It looks like you could just wake up and do this thing without even thinking. That's what we want. We don't want an artist who sounds like he's trying too hard. Don't try too hard. Or don't sound like you're trying too hard, So perfect your art so you don't sound like you're trying too hard. Be seamless. The aim is to be seamless. The aim is to be intentional. The aim is, I should feel like it just happens for you as a consumer. That's when I'm starting to build the trust with you, where I'm like, I can trust this guy, bro. That's why I can put you in those conversations off the crates, because now I know I can trust you. You just seamlessly do your thing. Because with the points I'm going to argue, I don't want when I argue these points and then people go listen to your music and they're like, dog, you said this guy is like this. And then, but when I listened to him, he sounded like he was trying too hard to impress me, or he was trying too hard to do. So you want to be seamless. You want to sound like you're so chilled. You are so easygoing with it. You do this in your sleep. That was point number 3, right? Point number 3, make sure you seem seamless and sound very, very intentional in your music. We don't want to hear that you're trying too hard. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel like you're trying too hard. So make sure you are seamless with your skill. That was number 3. Number 4, versatility is your enemy if you are trying to be in the GOAT conversation. And people are going to try and crucify me for this one, but it's fine. I'm going to tell you why I say this. I say this because all the people that are versatile, that can do a lot of things, they're not great at anything. They're good at a lot of things. And being good doesn't put you in the conversations of the greats. And I think a lot of you guys misinterpret that one. You get lost in the sauce, that you don't understand that if you want to be a great, you can't just be good. You have to be great at something, and you can't be great at everything. Nobody is ever great at everything. It's impossible. So if you want to be in the conversations of GOATs, the greatest of all time conversations, you need to be so orientated in one style, like so good at it. You know, I don't know if you guys watch football, or back then you used to watch football, or now. It doesn't matter when. But if you look at teams that have a specific style of play, there's not a lot of surprises when you're watching them, but they do this thing so well. Like, their patterns are so recognizable that it's so good that they've perfected those patterns, that they do it every time. Each and every training session is the same. Each and every game is the same for them. The game and the training sessions are the same for them because they know exactly what they are meant to do. They know exactly what they're doing. They can do it in their sleep. And that makes them the best teams because everybody just fits into their role. They do what they need to do seamlessly. And that's the most important thing for an artist. If you want to be in the conversation of the greats, you need to make sure that versatility is not your friend. I know it sounds counterproductive for some people out there because they'll be like, but fans want you to be versatile, but they'll never put you in the conversation of the greats. Trust me, they won't. You'll have that core fan base of yours that loves you regardless, but if you are too versatile, bro, you're doing too much for you to be considered as a great. You'll be good. People will know you're good. They'll say you are good because you are good. The fact that you can do so many things, you're good. But if you're really, really great at something, like if you focus, you harness a skill so much, you become elite at it, you become a specialist, there's no way you will not go down as one of the greats, especially in music. There's no way you won't go down as one of the greats. You will definitely be in the greats conversation. That's why Nas is in the greats, is in the conversation of the greats. That's why Jay-Z is in the conversation of the greats. That's why Kendrick Lamar is in the conversation of the greats. And the problem, and this one is going to be so controversial, but I'm not trying to sound like I'm hounding in on Drake, but like the reason why Drake gets so much stick from fans is because he's too versatile for his own good. So when you are too versatile and you're good at being versatile, nobody thinks you are really great at any of those skills that you have. So people undermine you. You might be one of the greatest rappers of all time, but your versatility takes away from that. And that's what most artists don't understand. Don't be too versatile if you want to be. Don't be versatile. Okay, maybe let me not say don't be versatile. Don't be too versatile. That shouldn't be your That shouldn't be your brand. Versatility shouldn't be your brand if you want to be a great. If you want to be a GOAT, versatility shouldn't be your friend. It shouldn't be your best friend. It should be something that you know you can do, but it shouldn't be something that you do a lot. Every now and then, of course, I want to hear you do something different. Every now and then. But most of the time, especially when it comes to like full body of work, like projects, albums, mixtapes, and those. Okay, mixtapes, maybe you can experiment a little bit. Not too much, a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. But the most important thing is to always make sure you are polishing that skill that you know you have. You're harnessing it. You're making it great. Because it'll put you in the conversations of the greats. And that's how you retain fans. Like, that's how you gain and retain fans, because other people who don't listen to your stuff, when they hear people talking about you the way they talk about you, as much as people want to pretend like the way people speak about A-Reece and it pisses them off and all of these things, they go and listen to A-Reece's music because they want to figure it out. One thing about humans is we're curious. So if you are so invested in something, I want to know why, and I will go and listen. Trust me, I will. Even if I say to I think this guy is whack, I think this thing is whack, when I'm alone, I'm going to go and check that thing out because I want to understand, why are you so invested in this thing? What makes you feel so connected to it that you will fight for it? And then if I give myself a proper opportunity to listen to that thing, and if I'm the right person for that market, it will resonate. And I promise you, you would have gained a new warrior. As an artist, you would have gained a new warrior, someone who's going to go out there and fight for you in these big conversations, which I think artists shouldn't involve themselves in these conversations. They should let their consumers and fan bases handle it, because as fans, we take pride in being able to defend our favorite artists. So if you take away my ability to defend you, then what do you expect me to hold on to? Because I can't defend someone that's making Today you're making gqom, tomorrow ke le compo, the next day ke three step, the next day ke yano, the next day it's rap, the next day it's pop. Bro, you are gonna make my head explode. I might enjoy that project when it comes out at that moment in time, but it's gonna fleet. It's gonna fleet because I'm like, this is not, it's good, but it's not great. And a lot of you guys don't understand that you are losing out on huge markets because you are trying to be too versatile, trying too hard to be versatile, and that is diminishing your value in the market because you're trying to be everywhere. And the moment something is everywhere, we are humans, bro. If something is easily accessible or it's everywhere, its value goes down. Something gains value the more scarce or scarce, however you pronounce that word. Sometimes English does me in, fuck that shit. But the more scarce or scarce, however you pronounce the word, the more scarce you are, or the more rare you are, the more exclusive you are, the more valued you will become. So people value something they don't have too much access to. So if you are everywhere as an artist, you are trying the compo, you are doing piano, you are doing three step, you are doing gomu, you are doing Bakadi, you are doing rap, you are doing, bro, trust me, you are not gonna go down as one of the greats. I do not care how good you are at certain things, you're still not great. So I'm not gonna fight for you and say you are great. You're not a GOAT. You're just not a GOAT. You were good. Just like in soccer, players who can play a lot of positions, they never really go down in the greats conversation. Look at Messi. Messi is a pure playmaker and everybody knows it. Pure playmaker. That's his game. He harnesses that. He showcases how much of a playmaker he is. In every game that he plays, Messi is going to be creating something. He's going to make things happen. That's his game. His game is to make things happen. And those are the people that get into the conversations of greats because they have perfected the abilities that they have so much. They're not trying everything. Messi's not trying to be the fastest player on the field. He's not trying to be the most aggressive player on the field. He knows his abilities and his technique. Keep the ball close. Move it, close control. Thread it through the needle there in between those defenders, playing pockets and all those things. I'll get into my soccer bag now and start giving you tactical analysis and all those things, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, what makes him a great is because he has perfected his niche. So that's why people are like, he's the greatest of all time. Cristiano Ronaldo, why is he in the GOATS conversation? Because he is a pure goal scorer. Physique, he has it so he can jump higher than everybody else. He has the stamina and the fucking fitness to be constantly in the box, because getting in the box is very tiring. If you watch football and you understand football, always being in the box is very tiring. Being a striker is tiring, dog. You have to make runs all the time, and sometimes you don't even get the ball, but you have to constantly make those runs, and you can't give up. You have to keep on making those runs. And then last but not least, the final one, be intentional about the messaging in your music. I feel like a lot of people, they don't really pay that much attention to the messaging in their music, and they don't think it's that important just because they want to make fun music. If you want to be a great, bro, if you want to be in great conversations, in these big conversations, then you have to be very intentional about the messaging in your music. It doesn't have to always be serious. I think people think it has to always be serious. Doesn't have to always be serious, but it has to be something that is very intentional, very, very, very much so something that you resonate with, and you you feel it, like you are in it like that. So you have to be passionate about the messaging in your music. Don't make your music become frivolous. Like, it shouldn't just be a song just because it's a song. If you want to be a great, if you're just making music for fun, then that's fun. Just make fun music and move on. That's cool, bro. You're gonna keep getting people who listen, but you won't have a core fan base that's really gonna ride and die for you. Because fun music is fun, but I can't always listen to fun music. There's time and place for fun music, and occasions for fun music. So as an artist, be very intentional about the messaging in your music. And I feel like that's the most important one, especially for me as a consumer. When I'm listening to an artist, I care so much about the messaging. That's why it's so hard for me to listen to trap music most of the time, because especially American trap, because I can't hear what the guys are saying. First of all, I barely can hear what they're saying, and that becomes a huge problem. The moment I can't hear what you're actually saying, it's too much auto tune. First of all, so I can't hear you, and also if I can hear you, like that, the messaging in your music is just, man, it's just some stupid shit that I'm like, why are we doing this, bro? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Although I'm not gonna say gangster rap is trash and all of that, because Pop Smoke did it so well. He did it so well, but he was so intentional and he was so passionate about it, and you could hear it. And you could hear Pop Smoke. I didn't have to struggle to hear Pop Smoke. I didn't have to struggle banding for Pop Smoke routine. And that is the one thing that I feel like artists should actually incorporate in their music. Bro, I want to hear you. And I want to hear your voice. I want to feel like I know your voice. Your voice. This auto-tune thing, it sounds cool and all, but if it's too much and I can't hear your voice, and I feel disconnected from the song. If it sounds too robotic, I'm already marking you down. Already I've taken the project's ability or the song's greatness down by like a point or two, because you sound robotic. It doesn't even sound like it's you. It's already like irritating for me. So the most important thing, make sure you're intentional, the messaging in your music, and also less auto-tune, man. Don't use too much auto-tune. Let's hear your voice. Not like your speaking voice, of course, but I want to hear your cadence, your cadence. I want to hear your voice, like your voice. Yeah, make it sound nice. Polish it with the auto-tune. You polish with auto-tune. You don't your voice is not auto-tuned. It's polished by the auto-tune. It's not the auto-tune that makes this, it's the voice that makes the song, and the auto-tune just polishes it. So polish your voice with auto-tune. Don't put too much emphasis on the auto-tune. So yeah, those are the 5 points. I said number 1 was pick your niche, work towards perfecting it. Number 2 was do not try to be versatile at the beginning. It's very detrimental for someone who's trying to build a fan base. 3, work towards being seamless in your music, sounding like you're not trying too hard. Number 4, versatility is your biggest enemy if you are trying to be in the greats conversation. If you want to be considered one of the greats in the future, you cannot be too versatile, because you can never be great at anything if you are good at everything, right? And number 5, be intentional about the messaging in your music. Those are my 5 ways that I feel like if artists hound in on these 5 things, and it will be hella dope. You work on it every day, you focus on that, you hound in on it, you push it, you will be flipping great. I promise you, it will work out in the end, and it will be all worth it, because as an artist, if you are intentional and deliberate about what you're trying to improve on, and even as a human in general, if you are deliberate about trying to improve something, of course you will improve it, because you will work on it regularly. So that's what I want artists to do, those 5 things, and I promise you, you will get to where you want to be, and you will get those fans to actually be by your side and support you till, I don't know, kingdom come, I guess. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it was not too long. So yeah, enjoy. And yeah, 2025. Big ups to everybody. Peace out.